Good evening and a warm welcome to a very special program, Cricket Predicta on NewsX, powered by 1xBat. The T20 World Cup 2024 has kicked off with a bang. India secured a dominant win against Ireland in their opening match, triumphing by 8 wickets. The Indian bowlers showcased their brilliance and the batting lineup led by Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma as openers delivered a solid performance. Captain Rohit Sharma's half-century and Rishabh Pant's unbeaten 36 runs helped India chase down the target of 95 runs in just 13 overs. Yesterday's match brought in an unexpected twist as US stunned Pakistan in a thrilling super over finish. Pakistan posted 159 runs thanks to the contributions from Captain Babar Azam and Shadab Khan. However, the American team displayed remarkable grit, tying the match and then outclassing Pakistan in the super over with a target of 19 runs. Indian origin player and US captain Monank Patel was named the player of the game. With this victory, the US tops Group A with 2 wins. In today's 13th match, Canada will take on Ireland at Nassau County International Cricket Stadium in New York. Both teams are seeking their first win after losses in their opening games. Historically, their head-to-head record is even, promising an exciting and closely fought contest. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the match with our guest experts. Joining me on the telecast is Sunil Kalra. He is the founder, Indian Sports Fan. Sunil, over to you.
Thank you, Megha. We had a fantastic match yesterday and we have a neck-to-neck, a kind of a humdinger, what we promised for our fans today. But let's take a step back. Yesterday was no different. Noel David, we welcome you on the show. You've been watching the world cricket. You've played at various places across the world. Just tell me, what went wrong with Pakistan yesterday?
I think they were, complicated. What I can say, they were overconfident in one way because US is a minor team baby of the World Cup. They're playing the first T20 World Cup, so I think they took it very easily. Because the way the approach was, I don't think it was that professional approach by the Pakistanis. The way they batted, throwing away the wickets. Yes, no, let's not take away the credit from the US team. They really bowled their hearts out. Not giving away runs in that power play was superb. They bowled a very good line and length. They kept it there. They were digging deep into the batsman. The wicket of the wicketkeeper Rizwan. What a catch that was in the first slip by Taylor. Superb diving catch towards his right. That showed some brilliancy on the field by the US team. The spinners bowled well in tandem. They kept it there. We all know what these guys can get because Pakistani. But I think what they did is they never bowled what the US team bowled. I think that's the only thing. I think they bowled it too up. They were not digging the shorter length balls. They were pitching it up where it was become easy. And yes, and I feel that little bit of captaincy went wrong a bit during that last initial overs where they could have easily captured the game, but they let it loose.
Well, that was Noel David and not Ravi Shastri, who eloquently put everything put together. Tate, what is your take of the associate members? I mean, they happen to bring in a kind of a surprise every tournament. I mean, you've suffered. Your Zimbabwean team had suffered into their hands. You know how it is. Just take us through the surprise element.
No, in a way, it can be seen perhaps not so much as a surprise element. I think it's just because it's the unknown. You might not know that these guys are able to play at this level up until you finally meet them. And as you say, maybe it might be a surprise to some. To some of us who've been watching even the World Cup qualifiers, we know that if you don't take your chances, I think Noel put it eloquently. What I think for me, the word I would have used was urgency. There wasn't a sense of urgency for Pakistan. Yes, it was USA. They could have probably upped the run rate. They could have put it beyond reach. But if you fail to do that, and again, like I said, with the teams like USA, and I think an interesting thing about that, if we're looking at one of the players, Saurav Natravalkar, I think even on his Twitter bio, it still says that he's a principal member of technical staff at Oracle, a tech company. And the cricket is not yet at the front, just to show perhaps where some of these players
Just stay on there. Great. Yes. Very important point you made. on his bio, there's something called that he's a technical committee of one of the big IT firms.
Yeah.
Now, Noel David, you played at the highest level. You played for India. You played at all across parts of the world. Is there a problem that the associate members are living with in terms of having to have a job and then having to play cricket at the weekends? Just take us through that.
Yeah. Yes, I know. The one thing is that they lack sponsorship, which is the biggest problem in associate member because they are not known to the world. Number one, like Canada or you take, see, Irish is a test playing country now because they have already entered into that elite group. Okay, they may get a few. Even then, they have not much sponsor. But like USA or or Canada or you take Uganda or which is baby too. These associate members need sponsors. Who can sponsor them unless they play matches home and away like series amongst the big countries like if they play, I think then the sponsorship flows in. Yes, they don't get enough money. Players are not given is because there's no money in the cricket board itself. Where will the fund comes from? It's only the sponsorship which come. And I think ICC needs to look into this major factors of associate members. Like like in the Ranji Trophy, we have some associate states like Sikkim, Mizoram, Meghalaya. They also don't. But BCCI sponsors them money where they can look after their cricketing affairs. Like that, ICC needs to take care of these associate members by getting them good sponsors, looking after them in the matches, make them play home and away where they can play a lot of series where the money and the sponsors can come into them. I think the players also work very hard. They do odd jobs like they go to they work in petrol pumps or in malls or in restaurants and all only to earn their livings. And I find that's very difficult to composite on both work and play, which they are doing only to fulfill the passion of playing the game. And I feel that's it's a sad part. And I plea and I request that if ICC or BCCA can take over these issues and sort out this associate members living of players conditions, I think that would be a great deed and effort towards the associate members.
Well, very well said, Noel. We completely agree. But let's talk about the match yesterday. I mean, having faced so many problems, you still get a match that gets into a super over. Then you get it into a final delivery where an Indian origin player completely comes in and just takes everybody by surprise. Your views, Noel, and then we'll get into Chatinda.
Yeah, superb. See, US became like an underdog into this World Cup. No one knew about the players. Yes, it's a mixed combination of players from different countries. Most of them are Indians, or you take a few Pakistanis, or you take the West Indies, or any. They're mixed combination of players. No one knows about them. Who's Natalkar or who's Taylor, or who's Jones? No one knows about them. They came as a surprise packet into this World Cup, and they have started with a bang by beating Canada. They put an icing on the cake by beating Pakistan yesterday. I think that was superbly, and I think this Natwalkar, the left-arm medium pacer, is already represented under 19 India. So he has already played that. He has the tag which is behind his back, and he has proved it yesterday that India is Mr. Bowler for the future. But yes, not to take the credit away from this US. Thanks to Amul who has come forward to sponsor them. And I know that's a blessing in disguise for these guys, which has given them that boost also. I think something which can back the cricketing criteria. And I feel that they are a unit which is raring to qualify. I think the captain already said it in an interview. We are here to qualify, and I think he is proving everyone that they are here and they want to qualify for this World Cup.
Sid, we're talking about the year 1999. Just go back to the World Cup. Bangladesh comes back and beats Pakistan in a 50-over World Cup final. World Cup first match. That's a different thing that they happen to beat them again over a period of many years. Now, what is it with Pakistan that they get beaten by Afghanistan? A couple of years ago, they got beaten by Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, you were there at that moment. Now, what is wrong, or how is Pakistan placed in the world map of cricket?
Okay, in terms of what is wrong, I think maybe these are just traits that over time you kind of just get you almost, they kind of almost internalize it. Whatever sport you look at, we might lose early on, but we're going to come back from this, right? And I think, like you rightly put it out in the last edition, lose to Zimbabwe, you somehow make it all the way to the final again. So it's almost kind of like a trend now. The worrying thing for me now, already, because if you're looking at it as well, again, we're not trying to take anything away from the USA, but relative to the teams that you've spoken about, countries that do have somewhat of a more recent cricket history, this could be a very worrying sign for them if I was Pakistan. In terms of how this game went, like I said, just to reiterate, just one of the first points I said, one, a lack of urgency. Two, like what Noel said, perhaps you underestimated your opponent. And then I think the third thing as well that I want to just perhaps highlight in terms of the spectacle of the game. Because yes, we're trying to grow the game. It's in America, it's one of the biggest sports markets in the world. And you happen to have the home country, the USA, going to a super over, winning it in such dramatic fashion as well in front of their home fans. So I think in terms of a great advertisement to the game of cricket to the Americans, this will be great. If I was America, I'll be feeling top of the world, top of the group right now. Two out of two wins. You've beaten Pakistan. You might not know how the rest goes, but you're holding on to that. But Pakistan now, they know that they've got no margin for error. And I think Babar Azam and his men, I think they'll need to really get that kick. Well, they've gotten the kick up the backside now. India's just around the corner. I'm sure we're going to get there right now. But very lackadaisical, both of them, and they got their just desserts. Well done to the USA.
Very important point Tate had made, that they've got a kick on the backside. Now, is it a time for them to just get up? Would they be like wounded tigers in front of India when they face in a couple of days' time in New York?
Hey, just adding a few points to what you asked before this. I always rated Pakistan an unpredictable side.
Yes.
They don't know what they're doing themselves when they're playing a big game or this thing. I think they are a confused side sometimes. They look like that. And I think there is something wrong within the team. I think to be very honest, I'm saying this in the air, I think they don't like the leadership. I feel that. Because this is a big thing. I think there are something which they don't like Babar Azam, where he is the captain, and I feel that. But they have to. But what I feel is down the line they have to play India now on the 9th. I think that game is it'd be a blockbuster. At the same time, they cannot afford to lose from here. If they lose, I think as he said, they need to kick up this thing. I think that will be a huge one, which will be pending on them later on. And at the same time, India can't take it easy because they have to beat Pakistan so that they can sit comfortably along with USA. And when the USA game, I think that will be another good match to be seen too.
Well, USA would be a big match. India is playing in a right momentum. But let's shift our focus to today's match, which is very important. And that is Ireland versus Canada. No, you've stayed in Ireland. You've played in Ireland in a couple of seasons. Just take us through what is the surroundings? How is it a player is treated there? Of course.
They play this league, first division, like what we play in every state or country, where the first division is played, and from there you're selected. But they are selected to play the Super Bowl, and from there they are selected to play for the country. But Irish is a small country which belongs to UK itself, England. It is not a difference, this thing. But Ireland, if you go about Dublin and all, then it becomes a part of Irish team, this thing. But I feel these guys, they work for their living. Some are farmers, some are, they work in malls, they work, as I said before. And in the evening, they come for practice. They sometimes come to St. Phil to practice, or they practice in the stadium itself, which is a very small stadium they have. So I feel, their living standard is, yes, everyone works to make a living, but the cricket is their passion. They love the cricket. Their rugby is their passion. Soccer is their passion. But cricket, they take it to their heart. because cricket is flourishing in Ireland once they are qualified as an allied group of nations. And I feel that Irish team can go through this match and beat Canada because they've been a test country nation. And I find that this game they have to win to stay alive in this competition.
Well, absolutely. You said it right. What about Canada, Tate? We've seen some Indian origin, some Pakistan origin players playing in Canada. Do you think they'll be able to bring a surprise?
I won't say surprise necessarily, because if you do recall, and I will stay, true to my word, you don't ever want to underestimate anyone in cricket, because they are professionals. In as much as perhaps maybe you're like what Noah was pointing out, you are semi-professionals. Maybe you're not quite or able to make it like a full-time profession. I think what I can say, Ireland are heavy favorites going into this game. There's no doubt about that. I think what Canada perhaps might have to then do, I think you then pointed out to the fact that they do have some players of Indian origin. I think there's Pagat Singh and I think it's Daliwal. I think that was the other player.
That's correct.
Those are the two that they might be looking at. I think it's probably going to have to, at least from what I've seen so far, I think those top three from Canada are likely to be the ones that, if anything were to come, that was Singh, Daliwal, and I think his name is Johnson. I think that's the other guy. So those might be the danger men. But insofar as that, Ireland, Sterling, those boys, they've been around the block enough times to make themselves at least the favorites going into this game.
Well, we are on to the Cricket Predictor show. What's your prediction for the game tonight? Tachinder, we start with you.
I think Ireland will win it. It'll probably be close, but I reckon Ireland is probably going to take this one.
Noel, Ireland will win it.
Yeah, of course, Ireland.
Will it be as tantalizingly close as it was yesterday?
It can be because both are good teams, balanced a bit. Yes, they will miss the service of Kevin Brothers, who were icon players for Ireland. They are not there apart because I think they have. But I think Irish will pull it off. The match will be getting close there. Let's wait and watch till the end of the last ball.
Well, absolutely. We'll wait and watch. Well, that's all we had time for. We are at the ICC headquarters in Dubai talking about the world cricket, and there's a build-up that's happening between the India and Pakistan. That's the biggest finale of the match. Well, that's all we had time for. Cricket Predictor, sponsored by 1xBet. I thought my guest and also take you back to Mega. We'll be back after the short commercial break. Keep watching NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.